Hey everybody, Paul Foster here with Secondhand Productions. Once again, we're going to watch another short film. This one's called The Countdown. It's by a gentleman by MSN Karthik. I'm not 100% sure if that's someone's name or if that's a production company. Don't know. But what kind of caught my eye about this one is it cost $75 to make. And it's won awards. It's been a finalist in several festivals. So when we come right back, we're going to watch The Countdown. Alright, so what I like about this film is the fact it only cost $75. Everything they used in the film, they made. They did a lot of research and a lot of hard work in prepping for the making of the short film. And it really, even though I have not watched it, from everything I've seen, it's an award-winning film. It should be pretty good, so let's watch it together. Let us see. We used to look at the sky, wondering our place in the stars. Now we just look down and worry about our place in the dirt. That's loud. See what happens here. That's pretty cool. I like these establishing shots. It's clean, it's simple.
Yeah, I understand. You must be extremely tired. I can't even imagine how horrible it is for you being there. You might want to reach your ship as fast as possible. But this landscape is definitely not helping.
Okay.
All your friends and fellow beings are happy enjoying their favorite shows back on Earth. And you are miserable on this dry, hot planet.
Oh, I like that.
In the name of exploration. You are the pioneer, they said, while they sent you off the planet as a sacrificial lamb. You and your crew of 3 are stuck here with only 4 CWCs of water and 2,300 liters of oxygen left in all the tanks combined.
That's very specific.
To add to this, your ship had been wrecked, and the water recycling system broke down when you crash landed in the morning.
Okay.
Normally, that amount of oxygen would last a person 4 days on Earth. But you aren't alone here. And check the rate at which you're breathing.
Who's talking to him?
It's only a matter of a few hours before the pioneers are gone.
Uh-oh.
Forever.
It's stolen audio. Is the ship moving?
Feeling breathless? Don't worry. I lied to you. You have just the right amount of water left to survive.
Okay.
And your crew, for sure, is big. You certainly don't need a ship to take off, because this is your planet. Planet Earth.
Okay. It's an environmental show. Yeah. A little disappointing.
It is said that the Earth was once a blue, habitable home. But just like Venus, a runaway greenhouse effect had made your planet a living hell. This was all triggered by the evolution of Homo sapiens. And once the human advancement reached a tipping point, no amount of artificially intelligent simulations could save them from wrecking up most of the species on the planet, except for microbes. Due to radiation levels and the lack of natural oxygen, you can't breathe outdoors. Hence, these spacesuits. You have become an alien on your own planet. You now use the microbes in the soil to convert carbon dioxide into oxygen in your labs. But with no proper nutrition, it's only a matter of a few decades before the human race is completely wiped out.
Okay, so
No.
there's a problem here.
Well, I lied to you again. This is your very own Earth, but it's still not completely destroyed.
Okay. Waiting for it to get better.
It's 2032, and the amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere has reached a record high of 600 ppm, rapidly doubling its value in just a century's time. Many island nations in the world are being obliterated by the increasing sea levels, which poses a never-seen-before refugee crisis. For the past 5 decades, all scientific warnings have been discarded for political gains.
Okay.
But it's not too late.
I guess that's good.
If we stop our greenhouse emissions, at least from this year, we might still have a slight chance in reviving the planet.
We got 12 years left.
Or else, the next 2 generations would be our last ones.
I'm waiting
here.
for a cameo by Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez in this thing. Point of that. There's some symbolism there with turning the tank upside down. You know, end of war. Here we go. By 2100, the rising seas will swallow island nations like and many others. 75 million people will be forced to leave their homes in the biggest refugee crisis ever. Biologists estimate that 50% of the species will be facing extinction by the end of this century. The clock is ticking. It's time to wake up. The countdown begins. Well, oh wait, we got like a minute worth of credit roll. Special thanks to Mom and Dad. And a host of other people. Let's see what else is going on here. Anything else at the end? Nah. So, I'm not going to lie, this is a little bit disappointing. I thought it was going to be a little bit more interesting because it billed itself as a science fiction thriller. I didn't watch this one before we started filming. The camera work was great. There's nothing wrong with the camera work. The props were great. The post-production's awesome. The big issue I have is the narration. And then there's a part here when we go back when he stands on top of the mountain. Okay, we have a problem. Okay, so you're gonna say this is Earth, and you start out by thinking that it's on another planet, but then you're going to show this scene here that I jumped to where we've got, if we're on Earth, then what the hell is that? Because I see the moon, but it's daylight. You see, it's when they start getting creative. They had to do something to make you believe that, but there's no explanation. I believe that this planet is not in our solar system. By putting two planets in the sky, post-production wise, I'm going to be honest with you, it was very appealing, but on your visual effects, they didn't track well. There was a lot of shake in the tracking. I mean, I can see the planets shaking. And there's a part here after it looks in his, we get into his visor.
Sacrificial lamb.
We do this right here. When the camera's tracking around this guy, if you watch the skyline did not, it wasn't a clean track. And so that's a little disappointing. But they really wanted to sell that this is an Earth. You know, and it could have been that they're trying to do some parallaxing, but you can see that this matte painting that they used on the skyline, it shifts up. So that's a little bit disappointing. Parallaxing, you wouldn't have parallaxing at that distance. You know what I mean? You'd have parallaxing up close. So anything that's closer to the subject, which is in this case the guy in the spacesuit, he's our subject. So you know, anything like if we had a mountain nearby and we're rolling the camera and it's like he's right next to it, and then he's kind of moving past it, that would roll past something behind it. But you're talking about planets that are in the sky. All right, they wouldn't be shifting with the movement of the Earth. The Earth would not parallax against that. They wouldn't roll over it. It would rotate with it because of the distance. And so that's a continuity issue. And that's a common problem that you'll run into when you see kind of like matte paintings or set extensions. It's like, at what point is it realistic or not realistic to have like this layered effect in your shot like they have right here. And so I'll play it again just for you guys to see. But as the shot enters, as it rolls in, you're going to see that the planets are moving faster. The planets in the sky are moving faster than the ground, and then they shift up a little bit.
Of the planet as a sacrificial lamb.
You see them; they're moving away. The planet's rotating, and then they're moving away. So that's kind of like the planet's moving faster than they are, and you just would not see that happen at the distance that, you know, because the only thing you see between him and those planets is like it's forever straight flat territory. There's obviously, they filmed this in a kind of like a quarry. I think all in all, it looks really good. I didn't really enjoy the narration because it's like just telling you everything. It's like you're getting these visuals and then they're narrating everything like they're telling you a story, but they're not really allowing you as a viewer to discover anything. This feels more like like environmentalist propaganda. And I don't want to say that as a negative because obviously, you know, you believe it or you don't believe it. That's fine. But this didn't feel like a science fiction thriller. I could definitely see why this won awards, and festivals kind of been this way. You know, if you kind of like, if you want to make a short film about abuse or neglect or shortage of water or environmentalist issues, a lot of festivals are going to jump on that and they're going to like it because it kind of fits their worldview. As far as entertainment value, yeah, it's kind of a miss for me, man. Obviously, you guys are skilled, you're talented. I love what you did with the spacesuit. There's a lot of attention to detail. I love the camera work. I love the grading on it because it gives you this feeling that you're not on Earth. I think it would have been cooler if it wasn't narrated all the way through like you're citing a story, but that's just a personal preference. But all in all, the only mistake I really see here is you're saying this is Earth, but then we've got two planets up in the atmosphere, and that seems kind of a stretch. And I think that was done creatively to try and fool the audience into buying the first lie. Well, that's all I got for this one. All in all, I mean, these guys are talented. If they made this on $75, I can see why. I mean, they were real frugal with their locations. They were very creative with their prop design. Everything was done in-house. Good camera work. And so I just got to tip my hats to them for that. But if you have any thoughts about this short film, definitely leave comments below. Hit that like, share this with your friends and family, and then be sure to hit that subscribe and bell for me if you're not a current subscriber. And if you want to, you can hit me up at Paul_SHP at Twitter. And you can, if you had a short film that you'd like me to take a look at, I'd love to look at it because I learn a lot from everybody's work. Until next time, we're going to see you later. I'm going to go see if I can find another short film.